Why do you want to improve your social skills? It's because you want a better social life. That's how it goes for us all. Well, in order to have a better social life, you need other people to respect you. Don't you think so? And who do people respect? Who's the person that gains the most respect from everyone? It's the person that's the most confident, isn't it? So then, why do you think you have to work on your social skills and implement certain tips and tricks in order to get to that point, when the fact that the thing that actually gets you a good social life and the respect from others, it's you being confident in who you really are? Because with the current approach, if you go after social skills, you are neglecting your congruence in behavior, you are neglecting your self-esteem, your self-respect. And you're just like, I don't respect myself deep down, I think I'm a loser, but I'm gonna learn these social skill tips and tricks, and then everyone will love me. They might, honestly. You might get to the point where you master them. You might get to the point where you become such a people pleaser that everyone loves being around you. But do you love having that experience? Do you feel good doing that? You don't. You absolutely hate it, because you're sacrificing your experience for them. And of course, on the short term, it works. It's not a net negative. But on the long term, you also need to satisfy your needs as well. You can't just prioritize others all the time. So hopefully now you understand that the priority should be your confidence. The priority should be doing the inner work, right? And getting to the point where you are so confident that you can just talk about whatever you want for however long you want. You can talk about your embarrassing experiences, and I'm not talking about the ones that could be turned into a nice story, but the ones that genuinely embarrass you right here, right now. Because the most confident version of you doesn't fear judgment, right? Your ego will take a massive hit if you do this. Like, if you were to express the most embarrassing scenarios you went through, your ego would just suffer. Your ego would beg you to stop, to not do that anymore. Because in your ego's perception, you need to be perfect. The only way you will gain respect from others, the only way you will be a good socializer is if you're perfect. But guess what happens if you're perfect? You are less relatable. And if you examine charisma and seduction and all of these social behaviors of people, what you realize is that people don't want the best thing. People want the most relatable thing. And when someone likes you, like, let's say you like someone, you met a new person and you really like them, you want them to be your friend or your partner or whatever, that's not a logical decision. That's a completely irrational decision. You are just charmed by the other person and now you like them. It's not that you saw like these five qualities in them that just seem so nice and now you want to have them in your life. No, it's something very vague and abstract, and you're just feeling something that's tough to explain, that makes you like them so much. These things are not easy to replicate in a step-by-step logical manner. You need to understand human nature, and you need to understand how people prioritize feelings. That's the truth. Even the most logical people, they still prioritize feelings. Maybe not present feelings, but future feelings. You see these entrepreneurs that work so much all the time. They work so much because, one, they like it, and two, they want to have a better future. They want to feel better in the future. So it's, again, all about feelings. Despite the fact that we all like to say that, yeah, I'm so logical, I was personally wearing this as a badge of honor for so long. Oh, I'm such a logical person, and probably like 10% of my decisions were logical. Behind it, I was still guided by my feelings, because everyone is. And you have to leverage this in your social life as well. You have to understand that people don't want Mr. Perfection. People want someone that's very relatable. And someone that's very relatable is also willing to be more vulnerable, to show more weaknesses. But probably when you think about this right now, you can just feel how much it hurts for you to express your vulnerabilities, for you to seem weaker. Because your ego takes a hit, right? That's normal. But that doesn't have to be like that. That's not the ideal way, because the most confident version of you doesn't care about that, right? So you could literally take some time on your own and kind of, how can I say it? Brainwash yourself. Try to brainwash your subconscious into believing you are more confident than you are. Like on the long term, you cannot do this. Your subconscious always knows better. But on the short term, you can. On the short term, you can kind of fool your subconscious and lie to yourself. Fake it till you make it, you know the saying. And then if you slightly believe you are so confident, you will just find it so much more easier to talk about whatever you want to talk about, and your charisma levels just go to the moon all of a sudden. You don't have to learn tips and tricks anymore. And that's just a glimpse of what a socially healthy life looks like, of what a life where you respect yourself as you should looks like. Because you've lost touch with that. You know, getting to this point of immense insecurities and anxieties over the simplest areas of life, like talking to people. This was not how you were when you were younger, when you were a baby. You have to get back in touch with that, and the way to do it is, again, doing the true inner work, not fooling your subconscious, but actually getting data from, getting feedback from the world, and convincing yourself that you are better than you think you are. And then when your self-image and your self-core confidence is as it should be, to the maximum, then these things don't really affect you. Then you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, as we established. And you exude confidence, and people pick up on that, and people love that because they don't have it. It's pretty easy. It's a tough process, but the maths are easy.